In a world filled with challenges, there's a remarkable quality that binds us together, a quality that makes us uniquely human: empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is often celebrated as a virtue that promotes connection, compassion, and understanding. It allows us to walk in another person's shoes, to feel their joy, their pain, and their experiences. Empathy is the foundation of deep and meaningful relationships, the driving force behind acts of kindness, and the key to a more compassionate society. It's the heart of human connection, fostering understanding, support, and harmony. But there is a darker side to empathy, one that often remains hidden beneath the surface. This shadow, which we will explore today, is known as empathic distress. While empathy is a powerful tool for understanding and compassion, it's not without its challenges and costs. Empathic distress is an intricate and often underdiscussed facet of empathy. It is defined as the emotional and psychological discomfort or suffering experienced when one shares in the emotional pain or distress of another. In simpler terms, it's the weight we carry when we empathize so deeply with someone's suffering that it begins to affect our own emotional and mental well-being. Imagine a friend who is going through a tough breakup. You listen to their heartache, console them, and truly understand their pain. Your empathy allows you to connect with them, but as you share in their sadness, you start to feel a heaviness in your chest. It's as if their sorrow has become your own. This shared emotional burden, if persistent and overwhelming, can lead to empathic distress. Empathic distress can manifest in various scenarios. When a healthcare provider continually witnesses the suffering of their patients, when a teacher deeply empathizes with the struggles of their students, or even when you watch the news and absorb the collective pain of the world. In our professional lives, empathic distress can also rear its head, especially when making challenging decisions like terminating employees. The responsibility of such decisions can weigh heavily on one's conscience, resulting in emotional turmoil. Empathic distress differs from regular empathy in its intensity and its impact on our well-being. While empathy involves understanding and sharing the emotions of others, it doesn't necessarily entail experiencing distress or suffering yourself. Regular empathy is a fundamental human ability that enhances our connections and fosters compassion. Empathic distress, on the other hand, goes beyond mere understanding and sharing. It's when that shared suffering begins to take a toll on your mental and emotional health, potentially leading to burnout, anxiety, or even depression. In essence, while empathy can be a force for good, empathic distress can become a heavy burden that weighs down the empathizer. Understanding the distinction between empathy and empathic distress is crucial because it enables us to recognize when we might be at risk and empowers us to develop strategies to address and alleviate the distress without losing the essence of empathy itself. Empathic distress can have a profound impact on individuals. It's like carrying a weight that isn't yours. And over time, this emotional burden can lead to emotional exhaustion, feelings of helplessness, and even strain in personal and professional relationships. In addition to the emotional toll, empathic distress often manifests in physical symptoms. Individuals may experience headaches, muscle tension, sleep disturbances, and even other stress-related physical issues. These physical symptoms can further exacerbate the emotional strain. Empathic overload is another concept closely related to empathic distress, and it's a phenomenon where individuals become inundated with the emotions and experiences of others to the point where it becomes overwhelming. It's like having an emotional flood, and it can happen for a variety of reasons. 1. Sensitivity. Some people are naturally more sensitive and prone to picking up on the emotions of those around them. While this heightened sensitivity can be a valuable trait, it also makes them more susceptible to empathic overload. 2. Exposure. Those who work in professions that involve constant exposure to the suffering of others, such as healthcare workers, social workers, and therapists, are at a higher risk of experiencing empathic overload due to the sheer volume of emotional content they encounter. 3. Personal stressors. If you're already dealing with significant personal stressors in your life, you may be more vulnerable to empathic overload. Your own emotional load combined with the emotions of others can become overwhelming. Empathic overload can manifest in a range of symptoms and signs, including feeling emotionally drained. You may constantly feel exhausted or emotionally depleted even after a good night's sleep. Heightened anxiety, a sense of anxiety or unease that doesn't seem to have a specific cause. Physical symptoms. Like empathic distress, it can lead to physical symptoms such as headaches, digestive issues, or muscle tension. Difficulty setting boundaries. You might find it challenging to distinguish between your emotions and those of others, which can make it hard to establish healthy emotional boundaries. In the realm of empathy and compassion, the establishment of clear boundaries is vital, not only for safeguarding your own well-being, but also for preserving the health of your social relationships. It's about understanding and respecting your emotional limits, while ensuring you remain a source of support for others. Learning to say no when you need to, without feeling guilty, is a fundamental aspect of setting boundaries. It's an act of self-preservation that, paradoxically, allows you to sustain your capacity for empathy and connection. While empathy is a powerful tool, it's essential to remember that you cannot make everyone happy, especially when it comes to professional decisions. For instance, as an HR manager, you can't afford to feel the pain of every employee you must reject or let go as part of your duty. Setting boundaries helps you maintain control over your emotions and perform your professional responsibilities without being overwhelmed. Recognizing when you can comfortably empathize and when it becomes overwhelming empowers you to engage more meaningfully with others, preventing burnout and strained relationships. This skill is vital, not just in personal relationships, but also in professional contexts, underscoring the significance of empathy and compassion, even when difficult decisions must be made. Setting boundaries also extends to your communication with those around you, whether it's in personal or professional contexts. Communicating your boundaries clearly and assertively is a respectful way of letting people know what you can and can't handle in terms of emotional support or involvement. It's a way of fostering mutual understanding and preventing misunderstandings that could lead to empathic distress. If empathic distress is severely impacting your life, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. Therapy can be immensely beneficial in helping you navigate and manage the emotional challenges associated with empathy. It provides a safe space to explore your feelings and develop strategies to cope effectively. For those in demanding roles, like healthcare, teaching, or counseling, the line between empathy and empathic distress can be thin. It's a reminder to prioritize self-care, to set boundaries, and to seek the support you need. By nurturing your emotional health, you can continue to be a source of empathy and compassion for others, making a difference without overburdening yourself. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't a selfish act. It's an essential part of maintaining your ability to care for others. If you find this exploration of empathic distress valuable, we invite you to like, subscribe, as we continue to delve into topics that matter.